While I understand that all three of these properties may be owned by the same company, I will say that in terms of the eras they come from, their table designs, and the vibe they all bring, this makes for an odd pairing. That said, if you're a fan of variety, you'll generally find it here. In the case of Knight Rider Pinball, you'll find elements of kits, dashboard, and systems all over the table, topped by a section of rolling road complete with everyone's favorite talking car himself. There's no doubt that it's fun to hear all of the voice samples, but I will admit that the table layout is unusual and doesn't always feel like it flows well. Still, it's hard to argue when you can execute a turbo boost for a little nostalgic fun. Xena, Warrior Princess Pinball similarly features plenty of elements and voice samples from the show, and aesthetically seems to capture its look and feel quite effectively. Of the PAX tables, it also has probably the more overall traditional layout, featuring a few different ramps and drop areas. With it being more traditional, I also felt like I was quicker to start having success with the table, helping to demonstrate that easy accessibility is always a plus. Whether or not you were a fan of the show, if classic pinballs are your jam, this should do a good job of fitting the bill. Last, you have Battlestar Galactica Pinball, which may not have a fully traditional layout, but it's at least in that general direction, featuring a number of ramps. Triggering modes doesn't tend to take too much effort, and some of them make fine use of this being a digital table, so that's a definite plus. That said, the flow of the table didn't completely sell me, and more so than the others, I tended to see performance hiccups with this one. All in all, in terms of value, an argument can be made that at least each of the tables is able to stand out in their own right, with none feeling too much like the others. Granted, the odds of the average person knowing and loving each of the properties included in the pack aren't very good, but even without being a fan of any of the shows, I'd say the tables are able to reasonably stand on their own. They're still not generally as good as classic physical tables, but they do at least have some appeal. Overall, my final score for the game ended up being a 7.9. And if you're interested in picking it up, it's currently available on the Switch eShop for $14.99. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this review. And if you'd like more information or ideas of indie games worth checking out on Switch, be sure to click on the link provided in the description. Until next time.